Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, last night we had two massive announcements for the lightweight division, and both of these fights have major stakes at play. I'm going to go over them in the order that they will take place. So we will start with Dustin Poirier taking on Benoit Saint Denis. Okay, so first of all, I want to give Dustin Poirier massive props for taking this fight, and also it's about damn time, dude. Honestly, these guys at the top of lightweight that have been there for a good while need to start fighting these up-and-comers. No more rank squatting, okay? The only rank squatter left now is Michael Chandler, still ranked at number 5, 2-3 in the UFC. Don't understand it, but regardless, dude, honestly, this is the craziest one in my opinion so far. When Justin Gaethje fought Rafael Fiziev, he was ranked number 6, if I'm not mistaken. When Arman fought Beneil, I do believe he was 7 or 8. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. Dustin Poirier is ranked number 3, and Benoit is not even in the top 10. The guy's ranked at 12. This fight will be an absolute banger. I think initially I'm going to have to pick Benoit Saint Denis, and to be quite honest, I kind of want to see him get this one done because I do believe that will shake things up at lightweight. I would love to see him fight for a title. I would love to see him fight some of these guys at the top, but regardless, dude, for me, Dustin Poirier's game is a little too one-dimensional, more specifically on the feet, where he likes to do most of his work and where he spends most of his time. He is severely lacking a kicking game, which I feel, especially as a southpaw, could seriously benefit him if he was able to do a good round kick to the body and things like this. But you can see every time he throws a kick, his hips are stiff. And to be fair, he's had surgery on that hip, so it's not, you know, totally his fault, but when he kicks, it just looks a little awkward. But either way, and perhaps due to Benoit Saint Denis' aggressiveness, you know, DP might be able to find a nice check right hook like he does so well, especially against guys that do get a little overzealous on him, right? He dropped or hurt Michael Chandler with the check right hook when Chandler was going absolutely wild in that first round. He hurt Connor with that check right hook. He's hurt a lot of guys with that check right hook, right? But in my opinion, Benoit has such a massive arsenal compared to Dustin Poirier, and he is super fucking aggressive. He's very good literally everywhere, and he's got much less mileage, much less damage, and things like that, right? That KO that Justin got over Dustin Poirier could potentially change the way he fights. It could affect his chin long term. We don't really know. I am kind of glad that he took a good healthy amount of time off, but still, we don't know. He might get clipped once and all of a sudden he's out. We have no idea, right? That was a brutal knockout. He was out cold stiff, okay? But as I said, I am going to be going with Benoit Saint Denis initially. I'll want to watch some fights back and things like that to try to pick up tendencies and things before I make a final pick before the fight actually takes place. But this is kind of where I'm at right now. Also, what I want to talk about, the absolute ridiculousness of this being on UFC 299. Dana White is engaging in some form of strange gaslighting and trying to trick us all into thinking that Sean O'Malley is some kind of massive pay-per-view star. UFC 299 was already unbelievably stacked, and it's actually part of the reason why so many people are concerned for what will be on UFC 300, because there are so many good fights on 299 that could have just been pushed back a month for UFC 300. And I'll tell you what, dude, now that this fight is on this card as a 5-round co-main event, I will hold Dustin Poirier responsible for more pay-per-view buys than Sean O'Malley. And I don't think that that's a hot take at all. They already had Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena on this card. They had Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page on this card. They have Jailton Almeida and Curtis Blades on this card. They have Mateusz Gamrot. They have Piotr Jan. They have Song Yadong on the prelims, dude. Like, this card was unbelievably stacked. And then when Dana tries to tell us Sean O'Malley's a pay-per-view star, please just keep that in mind. Keep all of the other big names on this card in mind, because that is exactly what they are trying to do. They are trying to boost Sean O'Malley's pay-per-view numbers because his interview numbers on YouTube are pathetic. All right, now let's get to Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. This is a banger matchup of a fight, especially after watching both of them completely dispatch Beneil Dariush in the first round. It'll honestly be hard to make a pick come fight night. Obviously, Charles Oliveira's resume absolutely washes most lightweights' resume, but I don't know, man. If Arman Tsarukyan is able to hurt Charles Oliveira on the feet, I don't think he'll be scared to jump on the mat. Now, in my opinion, Charles Oliveira is a much cleaner striker than Arman Tsarukyan, but it's just the fact that he does get hurt quite a bit in almost every single fight, right? I could potentially see Oliveira getting a TKO, though, or at the very least hurting Arman on the feet and then jumping on a submission or something like that, right? That's something that is attached to this fight that is annoying as fucking all get out, okay? Is per Dana White, allegedly, Islam Makhachev is injured, and he won't be fighting until the summer, and allegedly, the winner of this fight will be fighting Islam Makhachev in the summer, which means we've got no lightweight title at UFC 300, which is very unfortunate considering the champs that are actually available for that card, right? So in these next 3 pay-per-views, we all better hope that at the very least one of these champs makes it out unscathed and is able to do a quick turnaround and make it for UFC 300. Otherwise, we are getting a Leon versus Bilal main event for UFC 300, which is absolutely fucking bananas, okay? So, you know, on its own, this fight is very good news, and I'm unbelievably excited for it. It's a good addition to UFC 300 also, right? Guaranteed excitement. But again, with that other news attached to it, it's a little frustrating. And also, what are we going to be doing with Justin Gaethje, right? Because if Justin Gaethje is waiting out for an undisputed title shot, he's going to end up waiting until October if the winner of this fight is the one getting Islam Makhachev next in the summer. And, you know, in the summer, we don't even know if Islam will be able to turn around by October because he does take a healthy amount of time off in between fights. I was really hoping we would see him before Ramadan because now, you know, as Dana White said, not until the summer. Very unfortunate. I am curious what they're going to do with Justin Gaethje. But regardless, banger of a fight. Absolutely stoked on this one. As I said, good addition to UFC 300. As it sits right now, I do think Charles Oliveira should be able to get this one done. I do, you know, Arman Tsarukyan's last performance obviously was absolutely stunning. Beneil Dariush did get finished right before that against Charles Oliveira. And, you know, I don't think that Arman Tsarukyan's going to be able to catch Oliveira with the same kind of shot that he hit Beneil Dariush with. And I think that Charles Oliveira is going to be able to do work in the clinch as he usually does, hurt Arman maybe on a couple of occasions before eventually getting the finish. That's where I'm at right now, obviously. Much like the fight that I talked about before, I do want to watch some film back and pick up tendencies and things like that to make a pick before the actual fight. But regardless, dude, like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.